Every YETI cooler carries 5 words. Designed in Austin, Texas. Legally, that phrase says nothing about where it was built. And where it was built is a list that spans the Philippines, China, Vietnam, and 5 other countries. The cooler itself may cost as little as $20 to produce, before it sells for $350. 4 American brands never left. So what exactly are you paying for? Roy and Ryan Siders started YETI in Austin, Texas in 2006, driven by frustration with coolers that could not handle the demands of hunting and fishing trips. Their solution was a product that promised to be indestructible, something you could drag through a gravel bar or leave in the back of a pickup all summer. The brothers did not just sell a box that kept ice cold. They sold the idea of Texas grit, the image of a cooler as tough as the wild places it was meant for. Early ads and word-of-mouth stories built a legend. A YETI was not just a tool, it was a badge. The price tag, sometimes hundreds of dollars more than a big box alternative, became part of the appeal. Buyers were not just paying for insulation, they were buying into a story of adventure, exclusivity, and American outdoor heritage. The phrase "designed in Austin, Texas" stamped on every lid reinforced that identity, even as the real story of manufacturing played out far from the hill country. Before any scrutiny of where YETI coolers are actually made, the brand's mythology had already taken hold. For many, the Texas label is more than a location, it is a promise. But the next question is whether that promise matches the facts on the label inside the cooler. A YETI tag doesn't just carry a logo or a catchy phrase, it lays out a legal distinction that matters to anyone who cares where their gear comes from. The words "designed in Austin, Texas" appear on every cooler, bottle, and duffel. But that line refers to concept and engineering, not to the place where the product takes shape. Country of origin labeling is a separate requirement, enforced by U.S. law, and it tells a very different story. On the Rambler line of tumblers and drinkware, the label reads "Made in China." The same phrase appears on Hopper soft coolers and Penga duffels. These products are built in Chinese factories, not just assembled but manufactured from start to finish overseas. For the flagship Tundra hard coolers, the picture is more complicated. About 2/3 of Tundra units come from the Philippines, produced by contract partners like Hudson Outdoor Industrial and Dongin Entech. Only a fraction are molded and assembled in the United States, mostly at plants in Iowa and Wisconsin. The American-made portion is real, but limited, nowhere near the majority. In its 2020 annual report, YETI disclosed a manufacturing network that stretches across 8 countries: the United States, China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Taiwan, Malaysia, Mexico, and Italy. Each country supports a different slice of the product line, from hard goods to apparel. The official paperwork leaves little room for doubt. While the brand identity is steeped in Texas grit, the labor and materials come from a web of global suppliers. The phrase "designed in Austin" is accurate, but it is not a promise of domestic production. For anyone scanning the fine print, the country on the tag is the real answer to who makes the premium. YETI's business model is built around flexibility, not factory ownership. The company does not run its own plants. Instead, it relies on a global web of contract manufacturers to produce nearly every cooler, tumbler, and duffel that carries the YETI name. In the Philippines, 2 partners stand out: Hudson Outdoor Industrial and Dongin Entech. Both are named in YETI's official supplier disclosures and handle a major share of the hard coolers and soft goods. Their facilities in the Subic Bay region have become essential to YETI's production flow, supplying the rotomolded shells and technical fabrics that define the brand's most recognizable products. This arrangement is called an asset-light model. It allows YETI to scale up or shift production quickly, responding to changes in demand or disruptions in global trade. The company's annual reports and investor calls repeatedly highlight this approach as a way to keep costs down and margins high. The strategy is not about bringing manufacturing back to the United States. Instead, it is about spreading risk and avoiding bottlenecks, especially those tied to tariffs and shifting trade policies. In 2024, YETI announced a plan to move half of its drinkware production outside China by the end of 2025. The reason was not to reshore jobs to America, but to protect the bottom line from rising tariffs on Chinese goods. New facilities in Vietnam, Mexico, and the Philippines are taking on more of the workload as a hedge against trade disputes. Through it all, the supply chain remains global by design, even as the brand language continues to evoke Texas roots. For buyers, the difference between the story and the sourcing is written into every product tag, often in small print but always present. A high-end 50-quart rotomolded cooler costs between $20 and $50 to produce at the factory level. That is the landed cost, materials, labor, and shipping included, before it ever reaches a warehouse or retail shelf. On the sales floor, the same cooler carries a price tag between $350 and $400. The gap between those numbers is not just overhead or logistics. It is the premium attached to the YETI name. In fiscal year 2024, YETI reported $1.83 billion in revenue and a gross margin of 58.1%. That means for every dollar spent on a YETI product, more than half remains after covering the cost of making and shipping it. These margins are not accidental. They are the result of a business model that prizes brand identity, selective distribution, and pricing discipline as much as technical performance. The value in a YETI cooler is not found in the plastic or the foam. It is found in the story, Texas roots, toughness, and a sense of belonging to a certain outdoor world. The phrase, "Designed in Austin, Texas," stamped on the lid, is a legal nod to where the concept was born, not where the product was built. The country of origin label inside the cooler tells the real story of manufacturing, but the outside branding is what gives YETI its pricing power. For buyers, the question becomes, what are you really paying for? The answer is layered. Some of the cost covers a rugged, well-tested product. The rest covers the brand's promise, adventure, exclusivity, and the feeling that you are part of something bigger. As the numbers show, that promise is a major part of the price. ORCA stands behind its claim. Every hard-sided cooler is made in the United States, not just assembled but built start to finish in Nashville, Tennessee. The company operates a facility spanning over 100,000 square feet, with American workers handling each step. ORCA's ice retention regularly matches or outperforms YETI, but the price runs 15 to 20% higher than a comparable YETI model. The difference is spelled out in the warranty. It is a lifetime, transferable warranty, promising coverage long after the original owner moves on. YETI, by comparison, offers a 5-year limited warranty. Grizzly, another challenger, roots its production in Decorah, Iowa, and makes the bear-proof claim part of its identity. Grizzly coolers come in sizes up to 400 quarts, use domestically sourced components, and also carry a lifetime warranty. Both brands put their American manufacturing front and center, betting that some buyers value origin and durability above all else. Igloo's story offers a counterweight to the idea that American manufacturing is just a niche play. Founded in 1947 in Katy, Texas, Igloo operates on a massive scale. Its facility covers 1.8 million square feet, and it employs about 1,200 American workers. The numbers are staggering. Roughly 55,000 hard coolers roll off the line each day, adding up to more than 16 million per year. Yet, despite this industrial footprint, Igloo's image in the public mind often lags behind its output. with many buyers still associating the brand with budget models rather than premium performance. Pelican, meanwhile, has built its reputation in Torrance, California, since 1976. Its elite cooler line is made in the USA, drawing on the company's experience producing gear for the military and first responders. Independent ice retention tests place Pelican's performance on par with YETI, challenging the notion that American-made means compromise. Together, Igloo and Pelican show that domestic production can scale up to meet both everyday demand and institutional standards, raising the question of what exactly buyers are valuing when they choose a premium brand. Today, designed in Texas remains a branding tool, not a manufacturing promise. For every YETI cooler, the premium price includes not just plastic and steel, but an identity crafted in marketing. The real question: are we buying performance or the story printed on the label? Share your thoughts below.